don't you give us the ring the bell again?
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Interesting. Can't hear it.
Yeah, silent movies.
Okay, I'll slow down.
Ah, there we go. The mellifluous
Beautiful.
melody of the artillery shell.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, I'm Craig Adams. So we're going to go ahead and start our meeting. And the first thing we do is we introduce our guests. And then we go ahead and introduce ourselves, tell our guests a little bit about us. Now, I just noticed Anita Rodal just showed up. So Anita can be our first guest. And I know Anita from Southern California. She's part of a network group I belong to. And so, Anita, it's so nice to see you this morning. I want you to introduce yourself.
Excuse me, first time trying out my voice today. Like regular 30-second elevator pitch kind of thing?
Well, yeah, it's just, and just to give you a heads up, and everyone here, this isn't a regular meeting. We're not having a speaker today, so it's just a gratitude kind of thing, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. So we're recording this for the benefit of the members that can't be here. So we want to be on good behavior and tell reasonable jokes if necessary. Yeah, we can go ahead and give us your elevator pitch and then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, all right. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Anita Rodal with AFEX, Associated Foreign Exchange. We do corporate and personal currency exchange. And I'm sorry, my cat is trying to cut into the action here. We give our clients personalized service and preferential rates, but no foreign wire transfer fees. I'm also the president of SBPI Services. We offer many types of business financing, including securities-based loans, unsecured business loans, equipment leasing, and SBA loans, including the next round of PPP loans, whatever that may be. Anita Rodal, Associated Foreign Exchange and SBPI Services.
I'm sorry, was that OFX you said?
AFEX, Associated Foreign Exchange.
AFX, okay.
AFEX, yeah. And about me, I am a native of Southern Californian. I was born in Santa Monica and grew up in Beverly Hills, went to UC Irvine as an undergrad, and then decided I wanted to see the world a little bit more. So I moved to South America for 3.5 years and lived in Venezuela, in Caracas, Venezuela, where I met my husband. Moved back to the States in '86 and have been back here ever since. We went back to grad school, got my master's in exercise physiology, clinical exercise physiology, and worked in cardiac rehab for many years. Then got bored and went into outside sales. And let's see, I have 2 amazing sisters. I have 2 amazing nieces. And in my opinion, they're better than kids because I didn't have to pay for their private college and I have no stretch marks. So we're all fun. That was an appropriate joke, right? That was not inappropriate. Let's see, so I'm bilingual in Spanish. I love to travel, love to read, and I rescue cats. I've had a lot of cats in my life. I'm on my 2nd round of rescues, like as permanent residents. So I've just got 2 now though. And that's it.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Wow. Yeah, and you studied linguistics in the university level, didn't you?
I did. That was my undergrad degree was in linguistics from UC Irvine. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Well, that's good. There's a couple polyglots in this room. So.
Oh, cool.
All right, and let's see. Who else we have? Jim.
Jim's
Why don't you introduce yourself this morning? Well, Patricia, is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
The Jim's a member now. So.
A member, man. You're a member. You introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, he gave us a great quick introduction. So, Jim, you better do this again, what you did last time as a member, because obviously our president, it was so good, but he needs to be reminded.
A new member.
Yay.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Good to have you.
Long time Frippette converts.
That's
Yes.
right.
Oh, good.
So I'm a Frippette. Most of you probably already know that. And Anita, I'm an anteater as well.
That baby, that.
And
That's great.
Then I went on to study in Europe for a year as an
No,
anteater.
that sounds like a lot more fun.
It was a lot of fun. I'm a former president of the National Speakers Association of Northern California. former vice president of the American Marketing Association, Northern California, marketing professor, UC Berkeley. And today I make $1 million speakers look their best by creating very impactful visuals. Ms. Fripp, did I get an A on that?
Yes, you did, most definitely. I always think people are far too modest, so it's good to let everybody know what your credentials are.
Thank you. Now I'm going to mute myself and go back to sleep.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce my guest, Buster. Say hello to Buster right here.
Hi, Buster.
Oh, I love Buster.
Oh, that's nice. That's
That's
nice.
my boy.
All
I
right.
rescued him.
So, okay, any other guests so far?
Well, yes, we have Will Rogers.
Down.
Oh,
So I would, yes, exactly.
This Will
And
Rogers,
I would
right here.
like Randall Reeder, who is Will Rogers, to tell us something about himself that perhaps we didn't know from his speech.
All right.
What would surprise us about you, Randall?
Well, I don't know if it'd be a surprise, but I grew up on a farm in West Virginia. Got my engineering degree from West Virginia University in agriculture engineering. I've been at Ohio State University since 1979 and retired 9 years ago. One thing, well, you'd never guess this, that I grew up on a farm, and when I was 7 years old, we got our first tractor, and I just loved working with tractors and driving tractors. And through 4-H, I won the West Virginia State 4-H tractor driving contest. And
Wow.
Wow.
the Eastern
That's serious.
National, and you'll be glad to know I finished 13th in Eastern National. So
Very good.
How
I've been
funny.
working with a lot of that in a similar category ever since. As part of my work at Ohio State, I was helping with 4-H engineering projects, including tractor and small engine and electric, computer, a few other good ones like that. Does that answer your question, Patricia?
Yeah, that's very good.
Randall, I've never heard of a state called West Virginia, but I sure have heard of a state called West by God, Stand Up and Shout, Gateway to Dixie, Virginia. Ah!
I gave you the short version.
oh my God.
And Gary McKenzie, I said, I bet Gary will join us. So Gary, it's wonderful to have you, another Frippette. So to put you on the spot, tell us a story about at least one of the presidents or Governor Schwarzenegger you worked with.
Well, let me tell you a quick story about today I was in the White House after completing a meeting with George W. Bush. I was on my way out and I heard a little pitter patter behind me. I thought it was on the tile floor, and I turned around and there are 2 Secret Service agents leading this little black dog, Barney. As I turned to pet Barney, the agent's kind of like that. I said, I just want to pet his nose. And the agent said, well, make it quick. I petted his nose and I was on my way. That's one of my favorite stories.
That's a great story.
Okay. Now, of all the presidents, and I'll include Governor Schwarzenegger, if you had to say you had a favorite as far as the rapport they had with you, who would that be?
Yeah, I think that would be President Clinton. Clinton had a unique ability of when he was speaking with you, it was like just you and him, and the rest of the world was excluded. It was just amazing, that ability to do that.
I've heard that from other people who've met him. Yeah. Very good.
Yes.
And we have another guest, Linda Shively, who is going to be our speaker next week. And I suggested she might want to pop in and just give us a preview of why we should not miss her speech.
Thank you, Patricia. I am pretty sure that everyone here has maybe a little bit of self-sabotage. And what I'm going to be talking about next week, and you may not want to admit it. I know that, heaven forbid you actually say, oh my goodness, I'm doing something to myself. But next week I'll be talking about how to tame your joy-stealing dragons. And especially around the holidays, we have this feeling like we need to have joy, but things are taking it away from us. And I'll talk about what those are and what you can do about them. And it should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping all of you will be there and bring friends.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. And Patricia, any other Frippettes so far?
I cannot see any extra Frippettes at the moment. I know Brian Wagner said he was going to join us, but we'll wait and see.
Also, there's a few people here that may not know what a Frippette is. Maybe you can explain that.
Well, I would just say, and Susan Rowan doesn't like being called a Frippette because she says, I'm one of your best friends. But I would say a Frippette is any good friend of mine who frequently attends the Golden Gate Breakfast Club.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we're all Frippettes then in this.
Yes, really,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Any friend is a Frippette.
Did you guys have like a secret handshake or?
Oh, definitely. But you got to hang around with us in person, mostly at the National Speakers Association before you really get the handshake.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it for guests for now. We'll circle back around as we have more people joining us. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves to our guests. Jack, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure. I'm Jack Shea, insurance agent, and I've been in the business for a number of years, a little over 50, and still enjoying it. And being Thanksgiving, one of the things I'm grateful for is I got sober 38 years ago today.
Wow.
And so everybody else in the family is very happy about it too. It's been a wonderful ride, and I think everybody should try it.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, if you guys feel like the spirit moving and you want to tell a joke, you're more than welcome to. So just putting that out. The guy that writes our newsletter is here, Pete Ratto. Pete,
Yes.
would you tell us a little bit about your backdrop?
Okay, today's backdrop, if you're familiar with Burlingame, remember I try to do San Mateo County centric, hopefully transit figures, because I'm a director of the San Mateo County Transit District and have lived in San Mateo County basically my whole life. But that particular little streetcar behind me is a battery electric streetcar. It was built by the Federal Storage Battery Company in 1912.
Wow.
And Thomas Edison actually had an interest in that company. And they built these storage battery streetcars. The line it's on is called the Burlingame Railway. It was built by the developers of the Easton Addition. So I don't know if you're familiar with Burlingame. But it's not a tract. It was basically lots. So you took the little streetcar up from Broadway and you picked your lot and you bought it, and then you took the streetcar back. It was only there for about 4 years, 1913, late 1913 to early 1913, February. And then November 19th, which actually is my wife's birthday, in 1917, the line was abandoned. So, and that picture's taken on Hillside Drive. I want to say they don't know for sure. They didn't say for sure, but it looks like it's down in the flat portion of Hillside. So I'm going to say it's probably down near, one of the streets close to, say, Our Lady of Angels Church. So anyhow, yeah, that's today's background.
I like the historical content you put in this stuff too.
Yeah, and interestingly, yesterday I had interviews for people that want to be on the SAM Trans board, and we actually had an interview the incumbents, and one of our incumbents, Rose Gilbo, lives about a block away from the end of that streetcar line, which is no longer there, but she's about a block away. Lives about a block away now. All right, enough transit. Go on to the next person.
Thanks,
Mr. President, a point of clarification. When we introduce ourselves, is that the time we're supposed to talk about what we're grateful for, or does that come later in the program?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. Let's just go through the introductions first, and then we'll circle around. And I'm sure we're a pretty chatty group. We won't be at a loss of things to talk about. So thanks for asking. Hugh Tuck, followed by Arlen Kurtz.
Hello, Hugh Tuck, Atlas Heating, Tuck Air Heating,
Oh,
sitting up here at Truckee at 36 degrees.
I think his line's freezing.
His mic froze, exactly.
It was 36 degrees.
Too bad he can't find somebody to put a heater in for him.
I know.
Well, okay, we'll
Looks like
circle back.
he's freezing too.
Okay, let's. Oh, there he is. Hugh, we lost you for a minute.
Oh yeah, bad internet up here. Suddenlink, the most hated internet company in America. Anyway, Hugh Tuck, Atlas Heating, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Hugh. Arlen Kurtz, and then we'll follow Arlen up with Tony Woodall.
Kurtz, CPA, retired, thank goodness. Have a good Thanksgiving, and hopefully everybody will stay safe and separated.
All right, Tony.
Hey, good morning, Breakfast Clubbers and guests. Tony Woodall with Motivated Action Group, where this month I had the opportunity to speak with an organization called ProMatch, who is a group of people who are looking for work. They have been part of the change in the economy and looking for employment and helping them to find how to achieve their goals of finding meaningful employment. So had a very good meeting with them. And yeah, hold on one second. I have something coming in right now. Hold on one moment.
Hello, Breakfast Clubbers. Good morning. This is a special news bulletin by the Golden Gate Detective Agency. I'm Detective Craig Adams, and we have an emergency. We need your help to catch a culprit. 2 peanuts were seen walking across Golden Gate Park. One was assaulted. Back to you, Tony.
All right, thank you very much for that announcement. And now I'm going to turn it over to our president of the day and every day.
Do I have to keep my day job? Is that what this means? Marty, save me here.
You're beyond salvation. I'm sorry.
That was lots of fun.
Oh, Marty, come on. Okay, Marty, you're up next, and then
right.
Steve Shane.
Hey, Marty Majolski, and I'm the administrative secretary for this carnival. And you know, it's Christmas time. My wife has been leaving hints around the house, and I keep finding open jewelry catalogs everywhere. So you guys know that I'm a trained investigator, and I got the hint. So you know what I did? Yesterday, I went out and bought a magazine rack.
That's great. Absolutely great.
Oh my God. This is one of those COVID stories. I can see it happening now. Steve Shane, followed by Burt Hill.
Steve Shane, Keller Williams Commercial Brokerage. Business is brisk, oddly enough, in the commercial world. And I'm very thankful for having my family, extended family, staying with me. It'll be, they've been here since March. So I'm enjoying my grandkids and daughter and son-in-law. And I have a daughter getting married in a week and a half.
Wow, congratulations.
At her house.
Is it going to be one of those like a Zoom wedding?
No, just a regular wedding, but with 18 people, I think.
Oh,
Only family.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay, Burt Hill, followed by Sydney Mobell.
Hey, Steve, are you running out of unmarried daughters?
I have one unmarried, actually.
Okay.
One more.
One more. Okay. Burt Hill, Bicycle Commuter Services, doing litigation, supporting litigation as an expert witness in bicycle collisions, and Golden Gate Bridge Director, where we have multiple things to worry about these days. Most of them are in the news, you see, except the big one coming is trying to figure out how we're going to exist on tolls in an autonomous vehicle environment. So which is coming. So that's the biggest challenge right now. And I picked up something from The Economist that I thought was pretty good. Lockdowns are enforced periods during which rich people have poor people deliver them goods and services. And the government shutters this nation of shopkeepers by closing non-essential retail, and therefore robs both Peter and Paul to pay Jeff Bezos. I hear that hesitation. I guess maybe they didn't get it, but that's okay. You did.
I got it.
All right. Next up is Sydney Mobile, author of this book.
Thank
Sydney.
you.
I have it.
I'm here. I don't see myself on the screen. It's okay.
You're there.
You're there.
Take your view.
I'm there. I'm where, I don't know where I am.
You're
I
here. We see
disappeared.
you.
Huh?
We see you, Sid. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyway, 94 years old. I'll be 95 in April. And I had reservations already made at the House of Prime Rib. But with what's going on, I think they're going to probably cancel all the reservations. And normally at the House of Prime Rib in San Francisco, you have to wait about 6 months to even get a reservation.
Right.
It's that good. So hopefully they'll reopen it for my birthday.
Could be.
Thank you, Steve.
You deserve that. Les Anderson and then Ilma Gutierrez.
This is Les Anderson with the Boys and Girls Club of San Francisco. Yes, I do have 10 grandchildren and 4 great-grandchildren. And all of them didn't get the virus, and we're happy of that one. So I want to thank you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Thank you, Les.
Hey, Les, this is Bert. Real quickly, do you take used sports equipment?
Do we have? Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, Salvation Army doesn't. I'll get a hold of you offline.
Okay.
All right, Ilma.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I got my pin. I'm very excited, and I'm very thankful to be part of this Golden Gate Breakfast Club. I appreciate all of you. I really do. I own a collision and auto painting shop in Fremont. If you have any dents, scratches, or if you've been involved in an accident, we make your car look like it never happened. And just a little tip for today, make sure you check your tire pressures now that it's raining and some of the streets are a little slippery. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ilma. And for those of you that arrived after a little late, Ilma gave us a great tour of her shop and showed us some cars earlier, which was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. That was nice. Patricia, you're next, then followed by Tom. Oh, Tom Qualsi's not here. Followed by Ricky Wilson.
Well, as you know, I'm committed to rid the world of boring speeches. Now, on our call, Randall Reeder has taken more photographs of me at the National Speakers Association than anybody else. Craig Adams and Christine Torrington have taken more photos of me at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. And as you will probably remember, when I have my photo taken, I usually put my hands up. And that is also a way, if you finish your presentation with your hands up, you are more likely to get a standing ovation. And I learned that from a friend of mine who was an entertainer.
Good to know.
Cool.
All right. So basically what you're saying is that when I close out the Golden Gate Breakfast Club, I should say, do something like this, right?
Yes.
It's kind of a little screen. I can't get very far. All right, we'll work on that in the world of Zoom. Ricky, you're up next.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. My name is Ricky Wilson from the big town of Sebastopol. Enjoying life in the North Bay. I have dressed down a little bit today because I have a tennis date with my sweetheart at 8:30 and the conclusion of this meeting at Brookhaven School. Life is grand.
You play a lot of tennis?
Try to play 4 or 5 times a week.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you're serious.
That explains the godlike physique.
Amen, brother.
All right, Betty Taish.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. First, I'd like to introduce our very special guest, Rich Wang, who I will.
Hi.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
And we're matching today, black turtlenecks. Betty Taish with Compass, and I guide people through some wonderful transitions and challenging transitions in their lives, buying and selling real estate. But I think as Craig is also, we are realtors for life. We're there from then on. So anyway, it's great to see everybody. Nice to have guests on, and I'll have more to say when we talk about what we're thankful for.
Thank you.
Betty,
Bill?
thanks a lot for the wonderful gift.
Oh, you're my pleasure.
Wow.
Okay, Bill Buchanan.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers, members and new members, that is, and guests. Bill Buchanan, Buchanan and Associates, LLC, and Lodestar Judgment Recovery. My guest this morning is my wife, Claire. She took a few minutes off from her baking dog cookies and making sea salted chocolate caramels. She graced us with her presence. So anyway, Craig, I just want to, we'll circle back around for what we're grateful about, so on and so forth. But Craig, I just want to tell you after that detective skit, don't call us. We will call you. Everybody stay safe and happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thanks, Bill. Yeah, all right, moving on. Christine Torrington and then Jim Simpson.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Christine Torrington, second woman member of this auspicious club that was life-changing when I went to my very first chance to see and hear Patricia Fripp. And she, of course, became the first woman of it. And she was, Patricia, I think, were you speaking for the Golden Gate Breakfast Club that first time I saw you? Is Patricia still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm not sure.
But it was auspicious and life-changing, and I've had no regrets, and I get to see and hear and to participate in so many wonderful things with this Golden Gate Breakfast Club. Unfortunately, I didn't tune in early enough to see Elma's presentation. So Elma, I hope I can catch you later. I'll get your number, and I'd love to see I love cars, and I'd love to see what you showed everybody. And congratulations on being a part of this club also. So it's a magnificent day in San Francisco. I've never appreciated the beauty of this city and good weather and clear skies as much as I do now after the pandemic and after the the fires we've had and the days where we've really not even, I had never in my life before this year gone through an entire day where there was no sun at all. And it was just absolutely like twilight with the orange sky and brownish orange sun all day long. So blessed to be in San Francisco and to be at this meeting, part of this club.
All right. Thank you, Christine. Patricia, I see Brian's joined us. Would you like to introduce Brian?
Well,
hey, Jim Simpson. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, thanks, Jim. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Craig. That's okay.
Hey, by the way, how come we only see your name?
Because I'm busy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad.
The work day.
I'm glad you're on the call, Jim. You know, we miss seeing you in person.
Hopefully soon.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. All right, back to Patricia.
All right. Well, Brian Wagner I'm just trying. There he is at the bottom of my Zoom screen. Nice to see you.
Nice
Now,
to see you.
what I would like Brian to tell our group just quickly is, one, he was going to pick me up at the airport and he said, I will be the gentleman winking at you. So if you would like to pin his screen, tell my friend, because I said, well, I'll wink back. Yeah, but why did you tell me I will be winking at you? Tell us the story behind that quickly.
I actually still have that voicemail that you left me on my phone. So I've saved it. And when you said you were going to wink, you're the only one coming with a King Crimson shirt and I forget the other type of blouse you had on. But so I told her that because I have a permanent wink. So 10 years ago, I lost my eyesight for about 6 months. I was blind, and coming through that, I now have a portion of my sight returned. But as I tell everyone, I see better than I ever have. My vision is better than it's ever been. So I see things that I never saw before. I used to be in IT sales, and I worked for companies like IBM and other companies similar to IBM. So that whole winking thing is something that I've been able to do, and I've been able to help people with, because I use the acronym WINK. WINK really stands for, the W is for why does it matter what makes you unique? Why does it matter what makes you different or set you apart? The I is for intentionality, being intentional with what makes you unique. And the N is for a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at life. And the K is for a kinesthetic. It's for actually doing something with what makes you unique. Taking action. That is so important. So, that's why the wink is part of my life. It's who I am. People call me Wink. People also call me Brian with one eye, and all that is perfectly fine with me because it adds humor and levity to all that we do, and that is what I'm here for. I want to make sure that people learn from me, but also that they laugh along the way. So thank you, Patricia.
Okay, Brian. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. President, back to you.
Hey, Brian, by the way, I love that acronym. It's memorable, and I can hardly wait till we have you on as a speaker. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Patricia, I see Janice is here, and then why don't you introduce Janice, and then Tana Hope.
Janice is a new member, so she can introduce herself.
Janice can introduce herself.
She's so used to these people being Frippettes.
Yeah, another Frippette who sent in money, I might add.
That's good. Hey, by the way, I just ordered your book, Janice. I think I'm getting it today. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I'll put a nice write up on it as soon as I can dig into it.
Thank you, Patricia. So, talking about standing ovations, the one and only time I got a standing ovation is when I spoke at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club, Valentine's Day of 2018, when I did a rap. So if you need help figuring out how to get a standing ovation and the arms aren't working, let me help you write a rap.
Rap.
Or as in rapper, my son, the rapper. And my son is a rapper, which is another story altogether. But I am a workplace wellness speaker and now published author, as Patricia just showed you. Thank you, Banish Burnout Toolkit. Everyone who buys a book, I have a tiny little gift. Oh, Tony, woohoo. I should take a screenshot of everyone holding up their book, huh? Tony, hold up your book and I'll take a really quick screenshot. Yay.
Hopefully you got the one that's right side up.
Okay, I think I got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
All right.
Don't allow the standing ovation at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club to go to your head, because the tradition at the club for many years was we gave every speaker a standing ovation at which time they were introduced, which would cover the fact of the 5 or 6 people who left the room before the speech.
You just burst my bubble.
No kidding.
Mr. President, can I go now?
Absolutely. Well, okay. So yeah, Hetty, you're next, and then we'll follow you up with Tana.
Okay, good morning, Breakfast Clubbers and guests. This is Hedy Kabe. And we had a little contest going this morning. How many people are going to log in today? And I saw at one point we had 27. And I know that one of our members had to log out early. So that would make it 28 total. And the person who nailed it was Tony Woodall. He guessed 28. And the closest to him was Patricia Fripp with 27, Jack Shea 27, and then 26 was Betty Tesh. So that's the result of our little contest this morning. Good job, everyone. I'm so glad that we had 28 people join in, because usually today was a dark meeting at our regular meeting place. This is the first time that we are meeting before Thanksgiving, and I'm very grateful to
Right.
This is my report out.
Patricia, you have your hand raised?
Well, I know we were counting sign-ins, but with Rich and Claire, we really have had 30. And then if you want to count Ricky's dog, which maybe doesn't really count, but it was an enthusiastic jump up to say hello to us.
So
and then Rich was here, but Rich just left. So
that makes it 32. At 32, then I voted 35, Pete at 30, and Randall had 33. So Randall becomes the winner. He was the closest to 30.
Well, Colin just joined us, so that's another.
Oh, 33. So wait a minute. I guess I'm the, no, 33. Randall was 33. I was 35. So we are number 1 and 2.
Right.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Eddie. I was really worried about that if I won, because there's a bet going on, and I promised I would donate my salary from the
I think that was a fraud. We need it investigated.
Oh, Colin just joined in.
Hi
Wait
there.
a minute. I guess I become the winner then.
Yeah.
At 35.
Yo, right on.
Right.
Congratulations.
Tana, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll do Colin.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. This is Tana Hope from Bellingham, Washington. I am the Hope Ambassador, spreading the good news of good health by promoting good posture and the good knowledge of how body works. My YouTube setup is almost done, so I'm hoping to start recording how good posture should be and some knowledge is about how body works from East and West medicine's point of view, and put it up on the YouTube so I can reach many audience from anywhere from around the world is my hope.
I'd also like to point out how elegant Tana looks with the Golden Gate Breakfast Club pin on her blouse.
Oh, lovely.
I have one suggestion about the pin. There are some pins that has a magnetic back, so you do not have to poke the delicate clothes some women wear. So maybe we can have 2 options. One is with this pin kind, sharp point, and another kind with the magnetic, so it can be just put on and taken off without poking the fabric. There's such a thing.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great idea. All right, Colin.
Hi. Yeah, Colin Hussey, photographer, building manager, actor, graphic designer, and I'm going to be performing with Playwright Center this next weekend in one of the collection of short plays that they've selected for this year, showcasing their member writers. PlaywrightCenterSF.org, I believe, is where you go to click on the link to do that. And fun little play. we've got vacancies in my big building I manage and gigantic studios. And let's see what else. I think that's it for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Colin. Did I get everybody? Did anyone else outstanding at this point? I think we're good. All right. So at this point, it's 8:05, and we're just going to open it up. So if, I know a number of us have things we want to share, and the whole purpose of this presentation is just, we're here to be just to show our gratitude and share with each other. And Ricky, I know you wanted to say something, so why don't you go ahead and start us up?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, other than the obvious ones of living with the lovely Cindy Carter, having been born in everybody's favorite city, lucky that my home didn't burn down in the conflagration of the last 3 years, and I haven't gotten COVID yet. The three things that I truly am proud of are, number one, my daughter, Jessica Winifred, who is 33, who has hit the perfect trifecta in life. She has a great job with Child Protective Services. She majored in criminal justice at Chico State. And as you can imagine, the last thing any father wants to hear his daughter say is, "Daddy, I want to be a cop." So the fact that she works for Child Protective Services is a blessing. She also has a new boyfriend who was a longtime member of my crew, and a new home that her daddy helped her buy. So the second thing I am proud of or delighted to share about is I've been a member of this club for 35 years, more than half of my life. I've made some of my best friends in the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. I have been lucky enough to meet most of the movers and shakers in the city, including the governor and the vice president. And finally, I'm absolutely elated that there has been a change in political course in Washington, and that we will come back to some modicum of normalcy when the freaking moron is put out on January 20th, when the Secret Service will show up and say, "Mr. President, you're no longer president. Assume the position, you're trespassing." And that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Who's next? Show me a hand, or use the hand feature. Anita? And then Anita, and then we'll go over to Bill Buchanan.
Okay, so I'm grateful for medicine. My brother-in-law was just diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer, but thankfully we have immunotherapy now, which has tremendous results. So we're very, very hopeful. And that's what we're clinging to. I am grateful for my amazing sisters and my amazing nieces, my animals, my friends, the life I lead. I travel where I want, I go where I want, COVID notwithstanding. And, we wake up in a country every day where you don't have to worry about being bombed. We have enough to eat. We have a roof over our head. So in the scheme of things, I think everybody I know of is doing really good. And I do have a joke. I haven't told it in a long time, so I might mess it up, but here goes. So 2 electrodes are hanging out, just shooting the breeze, and one says to the other some juicy piece of gossip, and the other one goes, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm positive."
Oh, no.
Greg, you have to get the golden chicken out.
Anita? We give this to the best worst joke. There you go.
Wait a minute, get electrode positive? That's like the best joke ever.
Okay.
Hey, you got some competition.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's great. Thanks for sharing. We love jokes here. All right. Let's see. Bill Buchanan, then Steve Shane.
Well, ever since you announced the theme of this meeting, and that is what we're grateful for, I've been thinking about, oh, by the way, the weather report from Mill Valley, 49 degrees outside, a toasty 68.9 in my office here. So we're in good shape. Anyway, so thinking about, especially these days, you think about where you are, where you're going, what's happening, what you can and cannot do, so on and so forth. And I was thinking that I'm most grateful for this lady sitting next to me, Claire. She agreed to marry me 51 years ago. I was just getting out of the Marine Corps, had been in Vietnam a year before that, and I was shifting gears. What am I going to do from this point on out. And she's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And she's hanging in there. She hung in there for 26 years with the FBI, which was kind of rocky at points, you know, difficult with my absences and so on and so forth. So this lady here is what I'm most grateful for. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Claire, I have a question for you. I've been meaning to ask. What's it like to be married to Bill for 51 years?
I don't know if you have the time to go into the history. He's a great guy. He really is. He dated all the single women when we were working at Stanford Research in the main building and ran out of dates and came down to where I was working in the Quonset huts and we went out. We didn't date very long. The first date we had was that we went to lunch and went to a zoo where you petted the animals. He's an expensive date guy.
Big spender.
Yeah, right. So,
okay. Well, thank you.
Claire, have you read any of his books?
Yes. Yes, I'm featured in several of them. He's also a very good writer.
All right. And Steve, Shane, I think you have something you'd like to share.
Yeah, I just want to mention again, Ricky, that my daughter is the exact same age as your daughter, 33.
Yes, she is.
Born on the same day.
Wow.
And I think I told this joke before, but I'm going to try it again. I was on a plane a long time ago, and the flight attendant came up to me and she said, I fell asleep and dreamt I was a muffler and woke up exhausted.
Hey, right in there with Marty.
I love being compared to you guys. I love it.
No. By the way, the Antonio White, the pitch freak, just joined us. Past president, soon to be world recognized author of his newest production, and just all around excellent businessman. So Antonio, welcome to the Breakfast Club this morning.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. I'm so happy to see you. You're proud of the pitch freak. Am I doing my grateful right now? I have two things I'm grateful for. One is the lady that's sleeping in the room while I'm talking to you guys. Christina has absolutely changed my life for the better in a big way. But number two, I have to say I'm thankful for you, Mr. President. You have done such a stellar job this year in the middle of probably the worst situation that we've ever come across in the history of the Breakfast Club. And I want to tell you that the level of care and attention that you and Tony put into this club is almost moves me to tears. And I just want to say how profoundly thankful I am for you for keeping the club going, for all the hard work that you and the board are doing, for how much joy that you're bringing to the club every week, and how great that you're making this. You are the absolute best, and I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for what you've done. That's it.
Antonio, I can't believe you shaved off your beard. You look at least 2 days younger.
I think Craig's trying to get back into Antonio's spot. I see a lot of hair up there, Craig.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Well, first of all, Antonio, thank you for your comments. That's kind. This is a labor of love, and it's a lot of us working together, and I think it shows. Our club, we love each other. And then the facial hair. I was just trying to be in character because I had to represent Detective Craig this morning, so that was part of my act. I'll keep my day job though. By the way, I'll just say I'm grateful just for my real estate business. It's when we started COVID, I had a lot of rentals. I still have a lot of rentals, which was not a great part of the market to be in, but I've been very successful with selling lately, and I've got 2 properties in contract and a third that I'm working on to close by the end of the year. So it's been a very busy time for me. Actually wrote one up and put it in contract last night at 10 o'clock. So that was fun. So anyway, let's see, who else do we want to, who else would like to speak? Patricia and then Betty Tash.
Let Betty go first.
Well, thank you, Patricia. I agree and concur with everything that the Pitch Freak said about you, Craig. You have grown, and we are so thankful for you and Tony and everybody that has pitched in, and Patricia with everything. So I'm very grateful. I had a task last week to write down 100 things that I'm grateful for. Well, I haven't done it, but I'm thinking all the time. There's so many things. I'm on a walk. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for the pelicans that land out in the water right in front that I'm looking at right now. But two main things that just happened this week. And I'm grateful for everything else that other people have said with our lives. And I feel so sad for people that are hungry in our country. That being said, on Monday was my son's birthday. And so I'm very, very grateful for having a son. And then his daughter came with us. So there were 6 of us outside freezing, but it was at Maestro's, which is an amazing restaurant. And here we're sitting, and Aria, who has just turned 7, had the manners talk on the way down. So we're sitting there, and she's so, not good, but she's articulate and blah, blah. And she said, excuse me, Jack, but please, you have to have good manners, to the guy across the way. It was just priceless because he does not have good manners, and she picks up on it. So I thought that was wonderful. The other thing I'm very grateful for are my past clients and people that have referred to me over the years. And every year I have a pie party, and we invite people to come to either, it used to be my office or a home. And then we have a nice evening, our vendors and painters and everybody and my clients. So this year, of course, we can't do that. So this year I ordered 106 pies of people, actually probably 110. And I literally hand delivered all of them except 10. And this is an example of the map and of where and who and why. This is one of 4 maps. I still have about 15 to do today, but I have to tell you, when I went to the door and down comes a couple and they're holding their 6-month-old, then, I mean, it's just, it put joy, such joy to see how I've helped these people. And one lady in Berkeley said to me, Betty, I don't know what I would have done without you, because she lost her wife 2 years ago. And if I hadn't helped them get that house, she doesn't know where she'd be. So, I mean, stories like that are just so rewarding. And I just love to see everybody and how they've grown. And that just gives me a lot of joy. So I just wanted to say, I'm grateful for literally everything. So thank you for letting me share.
That's a really nice feeling when it comes to when we see our clients and we realize, you know, they're celebrating Thanksgiving in a house that we sold them. And it's like, it's an amazing, you know, and it's the funny thing is that we're very thankful in our industry when we sell something. It's not just about us, because, you know, you mentioned painters, contractors, Home Depot. I mean, it's a big deal. So, you know, thanks for sharing. That's a great message. 106 pies too. Well,
I might have a couple extra. 110. I got a couple extras. So.
Well, if you want to drive by San Rafael, I'll take one off your hands.
Me too.
Actually, I'll call you later. I'm going to be up in San Rafael.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Moving on here. It was Patricia. I think you're next.
All right. And Mr. President, if people would like to pin me, because I'm going to show you a couple of visuals.
Okay.
If they know how to pin. I, of course, am grateful for wonderful, adoring, fabulous parents who, of course, led me to have a really fabulous brother. Now, most of you know that my brother is, okay, hang on. My brother is a guitarist. He is the one on the right-hand side. And not only is he the best brother, the best son-in-law, and the best husband in the world, last year, when the King Crimson's 50th anniversary tour, they had a press conference, and the editor of Rolling Stone, who went over from New York to London, asked him, what is the purpose of the King Crimson 50th anniversary tour? And he said to introduce King Crimson to innocent ears. In other words, to make sure an audience they hadn't had before was introduced to them. And so they made different choices on venues they selected. For those of us who in business, this is a good message. So for example, another area I'm grateful for is, of course, that I have a lot of friends and we collaborate, and we have an event on the 7th of December, which really is to help people have the benefit of some of our best advice. Tim Durkin and Derek Arden, two of them. Derek's really the founder of this. And then I am all part of this is what makes it easy for us to be in business. I am very thankful of technology. And it might interest you to know that is what my office looks like. And today our soundboard and another new microphone are arriving. So next week it will look even different. And then now you can see I have a green screen. So if I turn off that. So really that isn't the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. Green screen doesn't show well on green screen, but it's funny. But that is my green screen. So between my wonderful parents, which gave me a great brother, and technology, can you imagine what life would be like without Zoom and email and the internet and FaceTime and all the ways we communicate? So as bad as it might be for some people, technology is making us closer. I had the best birthday party this year because of Zoom, because people all over the world could come to my birthday party. So with that, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. That was I really enjoyed seeing your office. That's brilliant. All right, who else would like to speak? Colin, you have your hand up, and Marty, and then Pete.
Well, yeah, just to double down on what Patricia said. Yeah, grateful for the technology that, I've been able to meet people from around and meet with people from around the world. Also grateful for the roof over my head. It was a different roof over my head last year, and this has helped quite a bit. It's just been fantastic living here, and I'm grateful to my landlords for giving me this job, and one of them who's a steady photo client of mine. And to everybody who has given me some kind of work, either acting wise or graphic design wise or whatever photography is, catch as catch can. So very, very grateful to everybody who has valued me. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin. Let's see, we've got Marty, and then Pete, and then Burt.
Hi guys, I'm really thankful this year. My grandson was born in March, at the beginning of the COVID issue, and we couldn't even see him for the first month. And he's had 3 surgeries in the meanwhile, and luckily everything has turned out successfully. And I also want to give my personal thanks to both Tony Woodall and Craig, because I don't think people realize how many hours you guys spend learning the technology and preparing for these meetings. And I appreciate that. I'm also thankful for Patricia Fripp for bringing in all these unsuspecting victims to our club. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you. let's see, Pete Ratto.
Okay, thank you, President Craig. And I'm going to say also, I'm going to echo what Marty had to say and some of the other members. Craig, you and Tony really deserve a great thanks from all of us and the board for putting this together and giving us the opportunity to keep the club going. So you guys get big hats off, kudos, you name it. And of course, we may figure out another award or we could give to you guys, but we're working on that. We won't let you know until the second week of December. But you know, in terms of being thankful, I have to say, well, first of all, I think we should all be thankful that not a single member of this club has contracted COVID. As far as I can tell, none. So we're all okay. We're all still here. Knock wood. I hope that continues. I am also very grateful that I have to say no one in my family has contracted COVID. And my youngest daughter, both of my daughters, you know, live in New York. The oldest one beat feet right away. She's up at her house in the Catskills. But my youngest daughter lives in Queens, which was the most heavily impacted borough of New York. So we were a little bit worried about Kayla, but so far everything seems to be going well. And I have to say that one thing that I am very grateful for, you know, I always say now, either I'm retired or director of San Mateo County Transit District, but I'm sure most of the guests don't know this, but I retired from the garbage company in San Francisco, or I should say, I'm sorry, the recycling company, Recology. And now if you have been keeping up with the news, you'll see that Recology has a few problems, dealings with Mr. Mohammed Naru, the former director of Public Works. And actually, it looks like one of my contemporaries, Paul Giusti, has got some big problems. He's looking at maybe 30 years if things don't go his way. So I am very fortunate. I am no longer at Recology. But I have to say, I was a bit amused when my wife and I were both there watching the news. And one of the things they said, well, you know, there's an email and there's this email and that email from Recology executives telling, you know, Paul to take good care of Mohammed. And, you know, back in 1991, I'm sure some of you remember that Recology had a really rocky financial period. We were looking actually probably at bankruptcy. It was pretty scary. No fault of mine, I might add. But the thing is that at that time, you know, we kind of had to maybe, I don't want to say do anything illegal or anything of that nature, but maybe dance on the line between illegality and ethics, you know. Anyhow, that is an interesting story how we avoided bankruptcy. But, you know, one of the things that we had to say, you know, I said, Nora, man, you know, we knew you don't put that kind of shit in an email, man. You don't write that stuff down, you know, right, Marty, right, Bill? Come on, you know. Yeah, you talk to the experts. And these guys are sending emails saying, take care of Mohammed, do this, do that, you know, geez. Anyway, most of those guys came from Sunset. They're a bunch of idiots, let me tell you. Guys from Golden Gate, we know how to bribe people, we know how to take care of people, and we don't leave a trail. So anyway, I'm thankful for that. I'm not looking at 30 years, you know, so anyway.
Pete, you sell yourself short. I believe that there's a trio of people that keep this club going forward, and you do the thankless task of writing the member news every week, and God bless you for it.
Talk
Amen,
about
Ricky.
brilliant writers. He is amazing. Pete, you are amazing. Just amazing.
It's a hard job to do too, because, you know, you have to pay attention and write at the same time. Hey, Tony, can you get that mic?
Well, I have to say thank you. I appreciate it. I'm turning the phone off. The phone rings here in the office. So anyway, but no, thank you. I enjoy it. I love writing the column, and you know, I took over from Dick Poley, my mentor, who taught me how to do it well. I always say that, hey, I really don't write too much. You know, I kind of like Herb Cain. And, you know, my sources, you know, you are all my sources, and that's where the material comes from. It doesn't come from me. So, you know, just keep your zingers coming and your interesting stories. And we'll keep putting them down. I thank you all.
Thank you, Pete. All right, next up is Burt Hill, followed by Christine Torrington. And then Mike Kress joined us a little late. So Mike, you can introduce yourself after Christine. Burt?
Yeah. things to be thankful for. It's such a long list. I could probably talk for a half an hour, but I arrived here in San Francisco, my dream city, about 50 years ago when my hometown, Seattle, had so many people leaving. They had, well, the last person leaving Seattle, please, shut off the lights. And I tried for months to get a job and couldn't land anything at all. So I came here broke and was so lucky to find a place and find a job and meet my wonderful wife. And we moved into a neighborhood that 10 years before we could not have lived in because of the exclusion policies. So we've lived and succeeded. Wonderful children. They live here in the Bay Area, 2 blocks away, and one in San Rafael that we see. We've got wonderful grandchildren. I mean, there's just so many blessings in my life that have gone on here, and all of it was just arriving here in San Francisco, and just having the opportunity. So I'm very appreciative, and I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I just have to say, the Golden Gate Breakfast Club really changed my life socially, and the wonderful people in it, and even giving help and changing and having great ideas. I even met Republicans I liked. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Burt. Christine Torrington, and then Tony wanted to share.
Okay, thank you. I had to say just a couple of things. First of all, to Patricia Fripp, without her, I wouldn't even have known about this club. And it's one of the best things that I've had to look forward to every Wednesday for many years. I've tried not to miss any meetings. And if I have missed any, I was very sorry that I did. So that's one. Another thing is another woman in the club, Betty Taish, always or so often will come with information and ideas and things to share that are interesting in the community, etc. All kinds of great ideas. And she makes a special point to let everybody know what's going on that might be worthwhile. So she's a consummate person for making everybody here know what's happening. When, for example, Patricia is traveling and can't give any input, Betty always has something to put forward. So there've been so many other people, as well as these ladies, who've given so much. If you don't get something out of these meetings, it's because somehow you're not really there. But it's been a blessing and a privilege, and I so much enjoyed it. So, and Craig, you're a marvelous leader, and that's part of it too. But so much of my life is better because of the Golden Gate Breakfast Club.
Thank you, Christine. I think you echoed all our sentiments. We love the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. Mike Kress, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even on mute. This is a new record.
Nice to see you this morning.
Good to be here. Good to be here. I guess I get COVID brain dead. I forget I'm supposed to be on this on Wednesday morning, and I like that in-person stuff.
Yeah,
and,
we all do.
and I'm a little zoomed out, but I thought I ought to make the Thanksgiving one. So I'm thrilled to be here. And
right.
Am I supposed to give my Thanksgiving stuff, or am I supposed to just introduce myself?
No, if you want to, go ahead. If whatever you're thankful for, we'd love to hear. And then, yeah, whatever you'd like to say.
Well, Burt arrived dead broke. I arrived $180,000 in debt. And I had talked my Chinese girlfriend into coming out that summer and staying with me, and for her to finish her college at Cal. And first year of marriage drove me to Jesus, and we tithed our way out of debt into prosperity. So it's been a wonderful place for us. I tell people you make more money here by accident than people make on purpose in Pittsburgh. All you had to do is buy a house and you got rich according to Pittsburgh standards. Problem is you have to sell the house and go back to Pittsburgh to be rich. But I'm very thankful that my son-in-law is working with me. That's been spectacular. And our back operations seem to be going in the right direction. We'll find out next month if we're able to play golf and win. And I've been exploring San Francisco on foot much more than I ever have before, and it's a thrilling city, and I'm still excited to be here. And to be COVID free and healthy and happy is all you could want. So I'm very thankful.
Amen. And you've had a great year too. Lots happening in your life this year.
You're telling me. I have a granddaughter that's 16 months, and my other daughter is 4 or 5 months pregnant. So this is a big year for the Crest family. Of course, they aren't Cresses anymore, but it doesn't matter. Those granddaughters or grandsons will always be Cresses to me.
Absolutely.
Hey, President Greg, can I add something that I forgot?
Certainly.
Well, and normally I write this stuff down. So when you folks send me an email that you need an excuse, I always write it down so I don't forget. And right here at the top of my pad is Ray Scioto. Ray is not here because he had to get on a Zoom call with lawyers. And he may actually be doing this as well next week. So to be on the safe side, we're going to give Ray an excuse for this week, and we're going to give him an excuse for next week. And for those of you new members or guests and what are you doing? Why do you need an excuse? Well, it's a tradition of this club that if you are going to miss a meeting, you have to ask for an excuse, So, and Ray, a longtime member, our treasurer for over 30 years, did indeed send me an email. And Ray also would wish you all, along with his wife, Lisa, a very happy Thanksgiving. And we may see him in 2, but definitely in 3 weeks.
Hey, Pete, thanks for bringing that up. And I also, Anastasia is not with us today. She was not able to join us, but she did give an excuse. And then so did Ann Mahoney. So if you and said she's going to catch up the next time. All right. And then moving along here, Tony, I think you're next.
Yes, thank you very much. I am so grateful for the month of November as well as the rest of the year. November is very important to me. My youngest daughter was born this month on the 16th. She turned 32 this year, and I'm grateful for her and my oldest daughter, who was born in February. But November means a lot to me because 10 years ago this month, I drove across country to start my new career at First Republic Bank here after being in the mortgage industry in Georgia. And obviously during the mortgage crash, I lost everything, including I had another business as the publisher of a newspaper called Coffee News. And that went out of business because of the economy, as well as my mortgage business going out, and ended up filing bankruptcy and losing everything, and got the opportunity to work for First Republic. And I've been here in San Francisco area for 10 years this month, 10 years at the same and wonderful organization that is the best company to work for, by the way. And they're a wonderful organization. But it's also 10 years, November is also the anniversary of me doing my first presentation at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club, November 27th, I believe, of 2017. And I joined the club shortly that next year for 2018. And I'm grateful to be a part of this incredible organization and have gained great friendships because of it. And, so November is very important to me and very memorable. So I just want to thank everybody here for being a good friend and for the opportunities that I've had here. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tony. I also like to, dovetail on that. It just, in regards to the club, I'm really thankful for all the members. Everyone's contributed in their own way and stepped up where we needed to step up. It's just been amazing. So, Tony has been awesome, but, the whole board, everyone on the board has been fantastic and very supportive. When my first meeting as president, when we were at the board meeting, I had to call, Betty ahead of time. And I said, how do you run a board meeting? I have no idea, So she was really kind and helping me out. And the board's been very helpful in many, many aspects. And it was very encouraging. And, so thank you guys. It's been a great experience, and really can't say enough. So I see Patricia has her hand up, and maybe Christine. So Patricia, go ahead.
Well, Tony, and how did you first know about the Golden Gate Breakfast Club? I believe you came as a Frippette, yes?
Absolutely, yes. I came as a Frippette, and Patricia introduced me to the club. Thank you very much. And I was part of the National Speakers Association of Northern California at that time, and that was also a great organization to be, part of. So thank you.
And Christine, you wanted to share another item?
Just very briefly, I almost forgot to mention that the incredible Sydney Mobell was a neighbor of mine in the Shreve building, and I would never have even known that, just on another floor. He's now no longer having that office, but it was a special, special treat to have the opportunity to meet Sydney and see his treasures and things that he had collected. He had so many, many, many of them, but he's a marvelous character. It's one of the many blessings of this club that you get to meet some of the people behind the scenes whom you only see once a week, but they're marvelous when you get to know and appreciate them outside of there. So thank you, Golden Gate Breakfast Club in Sydney. We miss you in the building. It can't be the same without you, but anyway, I hope you're doing well where you are.
All right, who else would like to share? Randall.
All right.
And then, Randall, and then I see Linda had her hand up. So you go first, Randall.
All right. Well, I'll keep this specific to the Golden Gate Breakfast Club because I appreciate the friendship of Patricia Fripp for over 20 years now that she's let me take her picture. And the photos were always in a professional setting, in case you're wondering about that. Including a couple, I think Wonder Woman, is that the character?
Yes.
So those are good pictures too. Well, specific to the situation currently, it's odd how COVID has created a situation where me and Brian Wagner, for example, from here in Central Ohio, can participate in San Francisco and learn about your members and not just the gratitude that you folks have, but just learning more about your businesses and how friendly you are and how everything is in San Francisco. It's good for somebody from Ohio to meet people in San Francisco who are actually personable and learn more, and not just the political angles that we typically hear about from California. So I'm just grateful for Zoom and this opportunity to get to participate with you, and both as a professional speaker, but also in some cases, like now, an amateur speaker. I'm also a meeting professional because I do organize 2 conferences in agriculture, and one of them is next week, December the 3rd, and we just had to go totally virtual for it. So that's a little bit extra effort, but all this experience with Zoom and other things relating to remote work is always helpful. So thank you, Patricia and Craig and Tony, and I'm guessing there's a few of your members who aren't in San Francisco right now who appreciate this Zoom opportunity too. So thank you.
Yeah, that's one nice thing that Zoom has opened up our audience, because, you may not be in San Francisco, but on the Golden Gate Breakfast Club, you become a San Franciscan, during our meeting. So it's like we bring the San Francisco to you. So it's a nice feeling. And, there's no better way to bring it to you than to be sporting the Golden Gate Breakfast Club lapel pin, as you can see. A true sign of being a San Franciscan. Okay, let's see, who else? Linda Shively.
Thank you. I am just grateful Patricia Fripp has invited me to be a Frippette here at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club for however many years it's been. And I'm grateful that I've had an opportunity to speak and that I'll have an opportunity to speak again next week. I'm excited about that. I'm also grateful that in this crazy time, I will actually get to see my parents tomorrow. So it was a definite negotiation. I'm like, I have not seen anybody. I'm not going anywhere. I promise I will, so I'm looking forward to having a very, very small gathering. And I'm grateful that the act of gratitude has been a practice of mine for many, many years. And if it's something you only do around Thanksgiving, I encourage you to expand your use of gratitude. I have found it to be tremendously helpful in my life. And I have many stories about gratitude, but I will leave it at that. Just that I know research has shown that if you actually write down gratitudes just for 1 week, that you'll be happier 6 months later than people who don't. Worth trying.
By the way, Linda's going to be speaking next week. So I'm looking forward to your presentation. That's going to be awesome. And it's going to be about, what's the topic?
The title is How to Tame Your Joy-Stealing Dragons in Life and in Business.
Oh my God. What a great title. It's appropriate right now too.
Yes.
So thank you. Belinda, I appreciate your, you have such a great joyous spirit. And those of you guys that don't know Linda, she's had some real tragedies in her life that she's had to overcome. And she's always got a smile on her face, and she's ready with a joke and just a pleasant personality. And, you're going to hear more about that next week. I won't let the cat out of the bag, but Linda's great. So I'm so happy to see you this morning. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And who else would like to share? Tana, you're never at a loss for words. But your microphone's on.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
Well, first of all, I am very grateful for the technology so I can join this wonderful group from Washington. I am very big on hanging out with the good people, because they say you are average of 5 people you spend most time with. So I'm quite selective on who I spend my time with, and I just choose and love hanging out with people at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. I learn a lot. I enjoy the energy from the group. So I really appreciate that. And also the lockdown opened up many free webinars and courses that was available via online from Korea, from United States, and from other countries. And I was able to tap in and really learn a lot, especially about how body works. So I can apply to myself and to others so I can be healthy and reverse the aging process. You don't have to be older if you know how body works. It's not the chronological age that matters, it's how you are with your body conditions. So I'm very grateful for that, for my health and wonderful friends and family that I can share that with. I have friends with airplanes, friends with boats. I have friends with all kinds of talents and gifts that I can share and enjoy. So grateful for everything. Yeah, and Wednesday morning, I love being with you guys. Thank you.
Well, we love that. All right. Anyone else? Brian, what are you thankful for? You have to turn your microphone on. Hey, but Brian, your microphone is off.
All right. Thank you.
There you go.
Yes. I didn't know I'd get to speak.
I'm thankful for this this club. I can't tell you how impressed I am with everyone's congeniality and Patricia Fripp believing in me all those years ago when we first met. It was not that long ago, but it seems like forever ago because she's meant the world to me, and I'm grateful for having her in my life, and I'm grateful for the NSA, the National Speakers Association. I'm grateful for life. I just had a brain bleed a couple weeks ago, so my speech is impaired again. So my tongue is swollen, but my lips are numb. So I go through life every day, and I'm thankful for just being here. So I want to just thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Anyone else?
Mr. President, quick question.
Yes.
So I would be remiss if I didn't thank Joel for Panzer for bringing me into the club, which I met at a Recology Golden Gate garbage man's dinner. so I wouldn't be remiss. I was wondering if we could just very quickly, maybe whoever wants to say who brought them into the club, maybe just mention a name, because I know we're running out of time. But for me, it's Joel Panzer. I'm so grateful for. Who brought you guys into the club? Maybe just a name would be a nice tribute to the folks that came before us.
I like
Craig.
that. Yeah.
Craig brought me into the club.
Joel Panzer, who nominated the first woman, and it was very controversial at the time.
Kathy Charette.
Patricia Fripp.
Patricia Fripp.
Patricia Fripp.
Patricia Fripp.
Fripp for me.
Wow. Well, I wasn't brought in by Patricia Fripp, so my sponsor was probably, most of you don't know him, was Gene DiMartini, who worked with me at Golden Gate. And Gene was a longtime member, and he's the guy that got me into this club.
Mine was Joanne Fazzino. We still see her once in a while.
Yeah. And I got Joanne Fazzino in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just gave her a pie yesterday.
See how that works? Sydney, who brought you in?
Sorry. I just wonder if Betty made all those pies.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? No. They're from a great bakery in Pacifica, Mazzetti's. They make the best pies.
Betty makes the best referrals rather, to wonderful things. I have to check that one out. I want to thank Burt Hill for having the bicycle services. I learned so much about bicycles before I went out and did more writing. Thought I knew a lot from when I was a kid, but he's been very, very helpful in that too.
All right. Anyone else? Marty, who brought you in?
I blame Joel Panzer.
Oh. And we've regretted that decision ever since.
I'm sure you have. You've never thrown anybody up, but I've come close. I know.
And Les, what about you?
Hey, this is, my sponsor was Jack Block.
All right.
Oh yeah, boy, that's right. Good guy. Yeah.
Jack Block. Okay. I never met Jack, but I've heard many stories.
He was a character.
Hey, Pete.
Actually, Jack Block would be quite pleased with you because you are wearing a coat and tie.
Yes.
I have to dress up.
Ricky's going. He went to play tennis, but he has a very good story about proper attire for the Breakfast Club. And you meet the standard. Yeah, I think you're the only one today, but you met the standard for Jack Block.
Yeah, it's like I have to. I'm the president. I have to set the stage. Patricia agrees. Thank you. My game goes up because Patricia's in the room, by the way. Anybody, did I get it? We miss anybody? Everybody else is good? Antonio, thank you for making that wonderful suggestion. I appreciate that. And I think that's a wonderful way to end the meeting today. And I'm really grateful for all you guys. And thank you so much for being here. And we're recording this. So if one of your fellow Golden Gate Breakfast Club members is not in attendance today and you'd like to share that, I think that'd be a wonderful gesture. Let them know that they're in our hearts this morning.
Craig, we should have mentioned that Hedy Cave had a set at his home, which was amazing. The on-site things, the off-site things that we've gone and done. That was such a generous gesture. So that's, I think, hats off to Hedy. He did that more than once. It was wonderful.
I still think about that food he served. That was
It's
amazing.
absolutely wonderful.
So we're gonna be bringing more of that up. Patricia, you have something to say?
Oh, Antonio, when your mentor took us the offsite, I bought one of his posters that's in my kitchen. Remind everyone about that.
About Primo Angeli.
Yes.
Primo Angeli, that was an amazing event. A mentor of mine, a graphic designer. He created the Bodine Bakery bread logo that all you guys are familiar with as well. What an amazing trip. And but as much of a mentor as he is, you are a mentor of mine as well, Patricia. So I couldn't take a moment without thanking you as well, and Ray in particular. So thank you.
And where is Joel Panzer? Did he send in an excuse, seeing half of us were nominated by him?
Joel
He did not ask for an excuse. I don't know where Joel is, actually.
I think he did. Well, anyway, Joel's not here, but he's here in our hearts.
Yes, definitely.
May I interrupt and ask Patricia how the art exhibit was at the DeYoung?
Oh, it was wonderful and it was very safe. They
Good.
don't let that many people in. And I would quite recommend that anyone who wants to go can feel comfortable.
Good.
Because Parenti Rowan and I are very squeamish. We did not go to the restaurant. We're not up to that. But there's so few people they let in at once that it was very manageable.
Good.
And they have guards making sure everyone is doing what we're supposed to do. So the Frida exhibit was quite wonderful.
Thank you.
Is it still on, the Frida?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm going to go. Thanks for the
You do
safety.
you do need to get a ticket, even as a member, because they're so careful.
Well, everyone, we're coming up at 9 o'clock. It's 8:57 now. And let's go ahead and we'll officially end the meeting. And again, thank you for joining us this morning at the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving
Happy
to everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.